everything that I wanted to do in life was to be in the military.
Okay.
Because I grew up with my dad and he was in the army.
My father is the king, he owns everything. I'm a real man, I'm a kingdom man.
What was your childhood like?
Myself,
Yeah.
as you know, I grew up in Africa, in Zimbabwe.
Yeah.
So I grew up with my father until I was just about 12 years old.
Yeah.
My father passed away at that time.
Right.
So he was at that time when he was like gone. I did not really feel a void that my father was dead.
Really?
But I can say one thing, that when my father was alive, he was a very good man.
Wow.
He was a very good guy. Not only did I like my father, almost every kid in the neighborhood used to love my father.
Wow.
Because my father was a cross-border, so which means he used to go across the border. Every time he came back, he used to come back with something totally different.
Wow.
You know, totally different.
Yeah.
I'll tell you one thing, my father once brought me one of the best presents that I've ever got.
Wow.
He came back from DRC, that
Yeah.
time I remember,
Yeah.
and he came back with a monkey.
Wow. A monkey?
Yes.
A real monkey?
A real monkey, a trained monkey. I said, there is a present for you.
Wow.
The whole ghetto went crazy,
Crazy.
went mad. But now thinking about it,
Yeah.
with all this Ebola and stuff, I'm like,
Yeah.
what if you could have just brought Ebola and wipe the whole village?
Yeah.
But I can tell you, when it comes to presents, gifts and everything, he was a very
He was
good guy.
brilliant.
And I still remember some of the things that he taught me when I was just at that age.
Really?
He was a very good guy, and when he was gone, there was a massive loss, not to just our family,
But to the
to
whole
all
community.
community and people from my relatives, because he was, in Africa you support extended families. So he was supporting a lot of extended families, and when he was gone, everyone was in a shock.
crying,
You know what I
like,
mean? I remember it was a massive shock.
Wow.
But then that was that situation.
Wow.
That's
Wow.
one thing I can say about my father. But when he was when he was gone, there was a lot of because where you come from, they come from a system whereby all your father's brothers, your uncles, extended families, they make sure that you don't have to make a difference between who your uncle is and who your father is.
Wow.
Everyone is your father, and everyone is your child.
Was your child.
So we were brought up like that. That's what they were brought up like. So when he passed away, there was a lot of people to fill in that gap.
Wow. That's
So it was
something.
kind of like
Okay.
a different
That's
situation altogether.
pretty interesting. So what's your man cave? If you've got one.
Well, what happens, I spoke to someone before about this. I said, every person, every man needs to release. So when I say release, is like every day we're taking in. There's a lot that we're taking in. So when you take in all that, sometimes you get overwhelmed by what you're taking in. That's when people get stressed, depressed, and all this, because you're taking in a lot. So you need to release that.
Yeah. So where do you release?
So for me, my release is very simple. For me, I like to design things. So I have that time whereby I just go in on my own. I just
in your
have-
garage.
in my garage or
Yeah.
in my own
Yeah.
space
Yeah.
and do it,
Yeah.
on my own to just
Yeah.
have that release. Because if you do not release, you end up getting overwhelmed by what you're taking in every day.
That's
So,
good. That's
so
good.
we need that that form of release as a man.
Right.
You know,
Right.
away sometimes from the wife, away from the kids sometimes, just
Yeah.
being on yourself to recuperate, to refresh your mind, to press the reset button,
Right.
so that you can get back to, to thinking no more, to just getting to digest things around you.
Right. So as you have said that you grew up around uncles, so like let's talk about now manhood. If I know it's a tragedy when your father passes away, especially as a son. So in your case now, I want you to tell us, how then did you fill the gap from that time when your dad passed away, as you were entering into manhood? How did you manage to get to that place? Because now you're married.
Yeah.
But how did you learn a lot about yourself and about manhood? How did you do that without a father?
I'll tell you what happens mainly is we come from a family where there are 9 of us.
9, okay.
So my father, when he passed away, the youngest was at that time, I think, 3 months old,
Wow.
and the oldest was 17 years old.
Okay.
So in that space of time, what you need or what happens to you is you learn to grow faster.
Wow.
So if you're in that position, so many people, the situation or the environment or the condition will force you to grow faster. So you grow faster because you know now you are now the ones, the boys who are supposed to be running around to raise the money for fees. You have to raise the money to eat, because it was just my mom who was taking care of everyone else. So the process of manhood, I think it just happened like, you know, in a way whereby the conditions were set up for you to step up.
To step up. So you were copying what your brothers were doing.
You're coping up as you copy as you go. Because sometimes you need people to sit down with you and to tell you. But sometimes the condition will teach you.
Will teach you,
The
yes.
environment
Yeah,
will teach you that now in this environment it's either you have to survive or you die. So we were in that position whereby we had to survive and we had to grow up, you know, because we're in a survival mode. So in a survival mode, you know, if you've ever been in a survival mode, you don't really think about the elements outside. The elements outside didn't matter at that time. It was now just focus. What are you going to eat in the morning, in the afternoon, at night? You know what I mean? So you go on like that as you learn, as you see other guys being taught what we have in Africa, in our country, whereby the child, if you're an orphan, when they're teaching other children, learn. So when you see other people being taught, you learn. And when you're seeing other kids being given privileges which they're not taking, you feel like I could have taken that, given information. You just go in there and then take.
You grab the
So what
opportunity,
you're doing is you're more like a scavenger for information, for knowledge. Wherever you get it, you take it and you apply it. And if it works, you go for it. You see what I mean? Because you don't have that person to sit down with you
And
to tell you
everything.
and to make you make mistakes fall and they pick you
Wow.
up. There's no
That's-
that.
that's-
What you need to do now is you see other kids, because I had the privilege of going to church in Boys
Yeah,
High,
yeah.
which was a different shift from where I was. I went to a good school. And when I went there, I saw something different.
Yeah.
I saw kids who had fathers who were successful.
Wow.
And you could go to their houses and then you could see their fathers. So what you do is you copy.
You're copying what their
You're
fathers
copying
were
what
doing.
their fathers are doing. And you're seeing what these kids are rejecting, which you feel like this will be very useful, you know what I mean?
So in other words, you're telling me that there is no excuse whether your father was a good father or not. Because in
Well,
your case,
Yeah.
dad passes away, but now you are learning from other people.
Yes, you learn. I'm not saying that there is no excuse that your father was not there. But some
Okay.
people, when the father is not there, they find it very difficult to find their foot, you know,
Yes.
in life and everything else. But at some point, not having a father or not having what is required will make you, you know, learn in a different way. Because every opportunity is an opportunity to learn. You know, every opportunity that you have is an opportunity for you to you know, to get that information.
Yes,
You know,
yes.
you cannot wait until I need all the resources to be around in order for me to learn or to understand.
Yeah.
So
true.
it's a matter of, you know, learning as you go.
Yeah,
Like what they
learn
say,
as
learning
you
on the
go.
job.
Yeah.
On the job, you know.
That's good.
So that's why kind of like the position that I got myself into, me and my brother. We got to a position of just like, you know what, we have to survive.
Yeah.
So in order for us to survive, we have to do whatever it takes in order for us to survive.
Wow.
So sometimes you end up doing some things which you're not supposed to be doing, but you know that if you don't do that, there is no surviving. You know, like from paying our fees, from doing all the other stuff, we have to step our game up. You know?
That's good. So I know you have 2 beautiful girls, and if you were to have a son, because I want you to say this to other men that have sons out there, what are the things that you would want them to do in order for them to train their sons to be great men?
Yeah. Just to add on that one, when you are training, I think it's a matter of training a child, whether it's a son or a girl, it doesn't matter. It's the training that just need to be installed on a child. So one thing about training a child, every day is an opportunity for you to train them. It's not like on a Wednesday, on a Thursday when you sit down and train them. Every day there has to be an opportunity for you to train them. And kids learn by, you know, copying your behavior. So you have to be a role model to them. and you have to be able to sit down to talk to them so that they'll be able to trust you with information. Because sometimes kids will stop trusting you because they know your reaction. So every time when you're given, if she gives you information or he gives you information, sit down to be honest with you, and then you lash out or overreact, next time they will avoid you. That's what usually happens. So you have to be a role model, you have to be open, you have to speak to them as adults, and you have to be a person whereby they can trust to come and give you information about what's happening. Because one thing with children is, if they don't give you the information, they're giving it to someone.
To someone else. That's a very key
You see what I
point
mean?
there.
And when they give it to someone else, that someone else can give them information back or advice
dangerous,
according to how they feel or how they benefit them. So as parents, I think we have to get that place whereby we are able to open up and speak to our children, because it all goes down to communication with them, and all goes down to them trusting you with the information that they're giving you. Because sometimes we give information and overreact, and next time when something happens to you, she'll know or he will know, if I tell my parent, they are going to overreact over this, they're just going to just lose it. So we have to be in a position whereby we are able to listen, speak to them, be honest with them, and show them the good example, be us being role models in front of them.
Right. Last point. So what would you like to tell any father that's out there who's got a son, and what would you want to tell them in order for them to be better fathers to their sons, even to their daughters?
Yeah, I think it all goes down to spending more time with them.
More time
With them, being present in their life, being there to support them. Because most are like, I can tell you about the UK now, in this environment, we have a tendency of we're always at work. So we are chasing money, but we are losing our children. So in that process, we can find money, but you never really find money. That's one thing I can tell you. But you lose your child. So mostly we are mostly at work, shifts, doing everything. But we lose the family union. We lose the wife. We lose the husband. We lose the children. We lose the friends around us. And when you develop that gap doesn't develop in a day. It develops in a long time. So you drift away in a long time until when you're together, you don't know what to talk about. Then you start forcing, like, we are a family, we need to be talking. But I've never really spoken to you in a very long time, really. It's every time when you're speaking to me, you're giving me an order, or you're sending me to do something, or you're managing something. You didn't really sit down with me and have a conversation with me. It's been a long time since you had a conversation with your wife, with your child, because you're always busy, or someone's always busy. So I think the first thing is the presence. I can tell you one thing with children. They enjoy being around those people that they hold as their role models. Their family, their fathers, their mothers, their uncles, their aunties, they enjoy that because it gives them safety and comfort. I'll tell you one thing, when I was growing up without, like as I said, without a father, there will be my uncles who come, or some cousins. If they come, I used to feel just safe, just feel relaxed, feel, it's not like they're coming to give me money or anything. Just their presence will just change the atmosphere. Mentally, it changes the atmosphere mentally. So our presence and our, like, when we're present, we're saying we are with them in the same place. It makes them feel comfortable. It brings stability. Because a father or a mother is an anchor to a child. That one that you anchor you down. You can go crazy or whatever, but you still have an anchor. So the father is an anchor, and if you know that I trust the father, that's even a secure anchor, whereby you know that anything can happen, they can come back and anchor. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Because as someone told me, that fathers are releases. They will release you into the world. Because fathers, what they do is they want you to go there, make a mistake, so that you can come back, make a mistake. But mothers, they kind of incubators. They want you to hold you, to give you that safety net. So if you have a balance of those two people in your life, usually you'll be stable. Because you've got both of us. But then, if you do not have that father figure in your life, there's always an empty space, an empty gap. So the danger is, they say, the abused will become the abuser. See what I mean? So you feel, maybe you see your mother, you know, other men coming into your mother, and then you see these men, and then going back, different men coming into your life. It also gives you that, that level of, of fear or nervousness. Even to have a relationship with a woman, you will not want to do that because you feel like a woman is an object. So there is a lot of training that needs to be done to a child since they're young.
Yeah.
Because what kids do, majority of the things that they do, is through how they learn within the family, within the society, within the people group. You see what I mean? And within what is acceptable.
Yeah.
So once you just be with your children, show them what is acceptable, show them that love, be with them when they need you. Because you can be there, but when they need you, you're not there.
You're not there.
You're not present.
Wow.
Be present in their life, and just know them so that they know who you are.
Yeah.
That's kind of like where
I'm a
Thank you.
kingdom man.
Pastor Fogut, thank you very much.
I'm a kingdom man. I'm a part of God's plan. My father is the king. He owns everything. I'm a real man. I'm a kingdom man.